my snapshot review. So I'm going to be trying to review this snapshot the best I can to bring you guys the best content ever. Alright, so first up we have a daylight sensor. This will output a redstone signal when it's day. When it's night, it won't output a redstone signal. I have this set up where it has a NOT gate on it and on the moment, and when it's night, this light will turn on, which is an easy way to make your night switches, just so you guys know. Next up we have the locked chests. Now they're not actually locked, you can open them, but if you open them it will put a redstone signal out to redstone coming out of it. And here's the thing with redstone at the moment. It has a signal strength. For instance, since there's only one person in this chest, it's only outputting a 1 signal strength. That's why it's not powering this repeater. It's only able to travel 1 block. So that's a normal locked chest, and this is a normal chest, and it has a different graphical thing around this part here where it's a little bit more red, but that's the only difference. So this could be cool to set up some traps in your base or something, make a dummy chest to hook it up to, I don't know, some TNT. And this is, you may have noticed that these chests are right next to each other, which you couldn't do in the previous version. So that means that you can make really efficient storage rooms. This is an example that I have here. I don't know where you would put the item frames, but this is I think it's the most compact chest design yet. And it just goes like locked chest here, and normal chest here. They're all diagonal like a checkerboard. Next up we have redstone blocks. These are created similar to diamond blocks, emerald blocks, whatever. They are 9 redstone in a square, and they're very similar to a redstone torch. You can see that it outputs some current here, but the difference is that they can't be turned off using a redstone torch. So this will still output current. Anyway, that's the only difference, and also they are movable by pistons. They output in different areas. So I don't know, that might come handy somewhere in Minecraft, I'm not sure. So the next up thing we have is the item hopper. And this is represented as an icon with a work in progress, so it isn't quite finished yet. But this is something you would use on your mob traps or something like that, because what it does is that it gets all the items. Let me get a stack of TNT, say. And say you have all your mob drops coming down on this stream. Well, it will get them all together, and it will put them all in a chest. Now you might notice that some of them are going towards the side. This is the only disadvantage that it has to it. The items need to be in the middle of the stream. So I don't know if you can create it so it stays in the middle of the stream, but only some will go in. This one will probably go in. Yes. There you go. Next up we have Redstone Comparators. Now these look a little bit like a repeater, but they don't function that much like a repeater. Now this is a little bit confusing, and I believe it's a little bit buggy, but what happens is that, okay, let me turn this off. So, okay, here we go, okay. So, at the moment we have 2 inputs going into the redstone comparator, and then we have an output here. With these repeaters we can see how strong it is, how long it lasts. And this is the main input, and this is the secondary input. If you make the secondary input stronger by making the source of the input closer, then it will cut the whole input off over here. But if you have it equal or less than this input, then it will let this input go through. So it's a little bit confusing, but it's just a way of comparing the strengths of 2 different inputs. Now next up we have Nether Quartz, and this is a new ore kind of thing which has been added to the Nether, and it looks kind of like this. Now I'm going to go into survival next, and I'm going to show you what this looks like in the Nether. Alright guys, so we're in the Nether, and Nether Quartz is quite common. I just spawned in the Nether, and I can already see many places of Nether Quartz. I'm not sure if Mojang wants to adjust this to make it less common or more common or whatever. But there's some up here, and there's some up there and there. It's kind of interesting because it gives you a reason to go to the Nether. But anyway guys, let's get back to the creative world. Now that we're back in the creative world, this Nether Quartz is used to create different new items such as the daylight sensor and the comparator. Now moving on, we have a new way to make Nether Bricks now. If you get netherrack and you put them in a furnace, then they will cook up to create nether bricks. Now, if you make nether bricks into, if you use a crafting table, let's see here, then you can make actual nether brick blocks. And there we go. So that's how they output from the furnace. So there is a new use for netherrack, which is good. I like this. Next up we have weighted pressure pads. Now these might come a little bit handy when using a mob system, but how this works is that it will output a larger signal depending on how many items there are on the pressure plate. So if you put more items down, it's going to output a bigger redstone signal. Now let's try this out. If you put one item down on the gold one, it'll just straight away output 1 signal strength. Now if you put 4 more items down, then it's going to output another one. And it now goes up in increments of 4 every time, and then it outputs another one. The iron pressure plate is a little bit different. It is more weighted, which means that you need to put down more items for the signal strength to be the same as the gold pressure plate. Now, this is the same, the first level is the same as the gold. You just put down one item and the first repeater will come on. Now for the next one, you need 42 items. And I believe this is logarithmic, because if you put another 42 items on it, it will not get to the next one. And I'm yet to work out the actual scale for it. And last but not least, if we have a whole load of distributed stacks of blocks, and we want to collect them all, then we can just double click and it will make a full stack out of both the inventory and the chests. Now there's a few different things as well. You may see, when you're placing blocks, you may see a little bit of a yellow number come up. And this is a new function which has been added to the game. If you are trying to distribute blocks into different places, and you hold down left click, then it will distribute them all evenly. As I'm going through all the tiles, I'm distributing all the blocks evenly, and then it has 8 remaining. Now, if I want to do that again, but I use right click, then it will distribute them all one on every single square. And that's going to make a huge difference once you get to use that. Believe me, guys. And there are a few other functions, like I believe I held down shift and double clicked, but I'm not sure what that did. So let me show you the double click anyway. Double click puts it all into a stack. Now let me try do this again. Shift double click, it puts it all into your inventory. So much easier, guys. Like if you want all of your diamonds out of one chest, or all of your cobble out of one chest, just shift and double click, puts it all into inventory in sorted stacks. So you guys, that's all the things in the new snapshot. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below. And until next time, see you later.